Hey guys, so this is my little Harbor Freight portable bandsaw that I've had for just a little over a year now. And so when I first got it, made the little stand, people were asking about how long they thought it was going to hold up and things like that. So I said I would do like a year-long review. And so yeah, I've pretty much used the fire out of this thing, and it's still works great. A little noisy still, but for $100, this thing's been, I've definitely used and abused it. This is, in addition to the other blade, I got some Milwaukee blades, and it's gone through one where it destroyed one of the blades, and this is my second one, and feels like it's, I think this thing's probably on its last leg. So, but set of blades are only, Home Depot. I know you can get the Milwaukee blades that fit this thing fine for I think they're about $25 maybe, something like that, for a 2-pack. I think that's what they were. They might have been about 15. I'm not sure. I'll look into that. But anyways, yeah, as far as just my overall everything, it's never really done anything weird, or I definitely have gotten things stuck down in here and kind of locked it up, have to shut it down, but hasn't ever really hurt anything. It's definitely builds up a lot of metal. I think with these things designed to be used in a more upright position, most of the stuff will have a tendency to fall out a little easier. So every so often I'll just take a shop vac, with the little nozzle, and stick it down in there and clean it up. But so some of the things that I really like about it, that I've had comments on making a bandsaw that's can be a horizontal bandsaw where it will lay over onto things. And I've kind of found that having this, you get so much more control to do. Basically you just, if you have a line, you can just guide it through, kind of like you're driving a car or something, like you're working a scroll saw, and just follow your line. You get super straight cuts on whatever you're cutting there. So I don't know, I kind of like having that ability to control cuts, and at the exact point where you want it, things like that. So as far as the stand itself, honestly, I don't think I would change anything about it. I like the length of it here, because you can really, not that I would ever push anything real hard, but I've never had it feel like it's gonna, like tip back or anything. When you're pushing on it from here, that's pretty good balance point where it's not, sturdy either which way. And I basically made the dimensions there where it's not going to take up any further than the cutting table here, or the sides or the back. The cord doesn't stick out any further than the back of the machine there, so if I wanted to put it up against the wall, I could. Yeah, as far as, I don't know, there was a guy that did kind of one thing that made me want to do the year review on this, is that I saw a thing a while back on how difficult it was to take the little blades off of these and things. So I'm going to set this over when we get a better look at it, and we'll go through what's involved in removing and replacing the blade there. Alright, so contrary to what some folks have said, this, you're not going to knock this thing out, and it doesn't click into place, but yeah, blade comes off pretty easy there on this, just right there. But it basically has like a cam type lock, so it's, once it's down there, it doesn't, it's a blade tension on there. It basically holds it down into place here. So set this thing loose. I'm going to put it back on here. I'm going to put her back on, lock her down, and then we'll just start from scratch. So that's locked in. I mean, that thing's, it's not just going to knock loose, so it takes some effort to flip that thing over. But anyway, kind of another thing with this cutting deck, I kind of designed this thing in such a way that you won't have to take this off, you know, in order to put another blade on it. So basically, to switch it out, you know, obviously loosen it up, you know. And the thing is, you know, sometimes it pops out pretty easy like that, but you always want to, you got the two little guides here. Well, you can, that's visible. There's two sets of bearings here, and then another set right here directly into the deck. So honestly, you want to probably try to work those out first. Pretty simple. I didn't have to use any special tools or pliers or anything. So put it on, line it through the slot, get her positioned up here. It'll fight you a little bit putting them on, but it's not a huge deal. Trickiest part is it's going this way, but then the two little bearings guides here are going the other way, so it wants to twist it. But I guess the key here, taking it on and putting it on, taking it off, is you don't have to force it. Just work it on, okay? Pretty straightforward, pretty simple.
What meal did we get? Where's the meal?
And that's basically it. Fire it up. Sometimes it'll overhang just a little, but plug it in. That's what's involved in putting it on. Taking it off, it's not that hard. Thing is, you can try to jerk it when it's twisted, it'll get stuck. It's not that hard. So yeah, I'd say, you know, overall, I feel like this thing's been a pretty good investment for $100. You know, definitely, I don't know, I didn't really anticipate it would last super long, and you know, I didn't really anticipate how much I would be using it. And I'd say in a year's time or a little more that I've had it, there's been times where I've, you know, used it every day and week or so straight, or you know, I'd say it generally gets used some at least once or twice per week, and there's been times where I've just had it running for 30 minutes solid and, you know, haven't really had any issues. So, you know, if it ever does bite the dust, you know, there are things, you know, if it ever does bite the dust, I'll probably, just based on how much I use it, I probably will get a nicer one. But yeah, I mean, till then, I'm just going to keep running it and see how long she goes. But yeah, I would have to say my overall thoughts on this thing are it's definitely a great little tool, and it's a huge time saver if you use a hacksaw every so often. So, but yeah, that's my year-long review. Held up great for me, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.